Hey guys, Mr. Taylor here. Got the second lesson in non-fiction writing today for you. And the thing that we're going to be looking at today is how you should actually start your writing. In the previous lesson we looked at how to plan the writing, and today we're going to look at how to start it. So if you haven't seen that, the previous video, then watch that first. I've sent it out in Google Classroom, and you should watch that, otherwise you won't be able to do this lesson. Okay, so the first thing is I thought we'd just recap the formula that we follow for the non-fiction writing. So as it says here, a formula is a plan that's invented in order to deal with a particular problem. The problem in this case that you have is that for question 5 on your language paper 2, you have to produce a piece of non-fiction, right? So you're going to have to do an article or a letter or something like that, and that will be worth 50% of your GCSE. So that's a problem, and I've got a formula that we're going to follow that will help you pass that question. Okay, so the formula is over here. The first step is to plan your answer, which we looked at in the previous video. And then after you've planned it, you're going to write 5 paragraphs, nerd head, apes mad, jet. And in this video today, we're going to look at a nerd paragraph, how to write a nerd paragraph. Okay, so what is a nerd paragraph? So in the word nerd, every letter stands for something. So the N stands for name topic. The E stands for extended metaphor. The R stands for rhetorical question. And the D stands for direct address. That's not another I. There's only one I there. I mean, there's 2, but there should only be one I. Direct address, yeah. And this here is a photo that I found in Google when I googled nerd. So it would be useful if you can memorize these, so that if I said to you when we get back to school, if I said write a nerd paragraph, you can just wash out really quickly. Yeah, name, topic, extended metaphor, rhetorical question, and direct address. So it might be useful now for you to pause the video and read through that a few times, maybe cover it up again, see if you can remember when it's not straight right in front of you, and then you can also revisit it for revision purposes later on too. Alright, so that's what a nerd paragraph is. Name, topic, extended metaphor, rhetorical question, and direct address. I'm now going to go through each one of these one by one and show you how to actually do it. Right, name, topic. So often it's difficult to know how to start an answer. Quite often you guys ask me, how should I start? Well, name, topic makes it really easy for you to know how to start your answer. You do it like this. You write what the topic is, then you put a colon, and then you write a declarative sentence. A declarative sentence is just a sentence that declares something or states something. It's just a fact, like this pen is red or my tea is hot. These are just declarative sentences. They're just saying some things. So if you imagine that the non-fiction writing you're writing about today is homework, your topic is homework. So at the beginning, the first thing you would write for name topic is homework, because you are writing about homework. If you weren't writing about homework, if you were writing about, I don't know, knife crime or something, then you would write knife crime. And then you would put a colon like that. But in this case, I'm writing about homework, so I do homework, colon, and then I need to write a declarative sentence. So I need to say something about homework. So if I was arguing that homework is awful, I could say homework, colon, this pointless, I don't actually think this, by the way, this pointless waste of time should be abolished. That means finished forever, gotten rid of. So, and that's it. That's me done on my name topic. All I've done is I've written what the topic is, I've done a colon, and I've said something about it that shows what I think. Okay? So that's name topic. Next. E in nerd stands for extended metaphor. Now, you hopefully know what a metaphor is, but just to recap, just in case you don't, if you say that something is similar to something else, then you're writing a simile. If you say that it is the same, it actually is that thing, then you're saying a metaphor. It is a metaphor. So if, for example, I said the student was, I don't know, I can't think of one now, they're as fast as a cheetah, then that is a simile because I'm saying as fast as a cheetah. I'm saying they're similar to a cheetah, but they're not literally a cheetah. But if I said they are a cheetah, or they're a lightning bolt, they actually are that thing, then that is a metaphor. An extended metaphor is the same thing as a metaphor, except it is extended. You make it a bit longer by adding some more things in, okay? Which I'll show you in a second. So I've got a step-by-step process for you here. Number one, you ask yourself, what is the topic of your writing like? So I'll do my example here about homework again, okay? What is the topic of your writing like? So what is homework like? What am I going to compare it to? That's your metaphor subject, and it should be a noun. So homework is terrible. We don't like it. It's distressing. It's uncomfortable. I'm going to say that it is like it drains your time. It's like a vampire bat, except instead of blood, it sucks time. It's like a vampire bat. So this is my noun. This is my subject of the metaphor. I ask myself, what's homework like? It's boring. It drains time. What am I going to compare it to? Vampire bat. That's my metaphor. It's a noun phrase. Step two, I need to think of some adjectives and verbs that could be used with my metaphor. That's what makes it into an extended metaphor. If I just said homework is a vampire bat, that's a metaphor. To make it into an extended metaphor, I need to think of some extra vocabulary that I could use with that metaphor. Okay, so let's start with the verbs. Vampires, bats. What do? They fly. They suck blood. And they swoop. Right, now I need to think of some adjectives. Let's say they're sinister, they're nasty. Let's go one more. Scary. Okay, so I've thought of my subject to my metaphor. I've come up with some verbs. I've come up with some adjectives. And the last step is to combine all of that into one or two sentences, and that's what an extended metaphor is. Okay, so that's the process of writing an extended metaphor. The R stands for a rhetorical question. So if you ask someone a question, but it's obvious that you know they know the answer and you don't expect an answer, then that is a rhetorical question. So it is to make a point. So an RQ is a question that you ask in order to make a point. All right, so some examples of a rhetorical question. I'm blanking on any examples of a rhetorical question now. Where do you think you're going? So if, for example, you're in the lesson, you're in my lesson, and you just stood up and strolled out of the room, I might say to you, where do you think you're going? The reason why I'm saying that is because I don't actually mean that. What I mean is sit down, stay in here because you're meant to be in the lesson. But I would say this question to make a point, to show you can't answer that question because there's nowhere you're meant to be going. You're meant to be here. So I would ask that question to make a point. That's a rhetorical question, okay? And the R in there stands for rhetorical question, so you're going to write one. And the last one is direct address. Direct address is when you address your reader. There's a stick man, he's pointing his finger at you. He's got his hand on his hips. Okay? Let's do a little cartoon. I'm talking to you. He's talking to you. He's directing it to you. You need to put the word you in a sentence, basically, and that's direct address. Alright, that's a nice easy one for you to do. So in summary then, a nerd paragraph is this. 1. Name topic, just like I showed you before. Oh, sir, please can I have another example? Yes, you can. Here it is. Homework. This crucial activity is one of the most important aspects of education and it doesn't get enough appreciation. The E stands for extended metaphor. And here's another example for you. It's an amazing superhero that flies up and down the country, saving thousands of students from failing their exams. 3. Rhetorical question. What is there to dislike about completing terrific, useful and fun tasks that help you to secure an even better education? That's a rhetorical question, because obviously there's nothing better than that. And number 4, direct address. I'm sure if you stop and think about it, you'll realise that homework is actually the answer to many of your problems. That's a nerd paragraph. When I write it, I wouldn't have these gaps like this. It would just be one big fat paragraph. I wouldn't. Why is my pen doing that weird thing? It's not letting me write on the screen anymore for some reason. There we go. So I wouldn't have these gaps, right? I would just write it as one big paragraph. Oh, sir, please can we have a go? Yes, you can. Here's the questions that we were planning from last lesson. If you've done the other video and you did all the work, you should have 5 plans. What I want you to do is write as many nerd paragraphs as you feel comfortable doing, but as a bare minimum, write 1 and send it through to me. If you're bored and you don't have much to do and you'd like some additional work, you can do as many as you like. You can do all 5 if you want to, but you don't have to. But do at least write 1 and send that through to me. And that's it. So I'll just leave you this message. Have a nice day. Bye.